the motherboard that runs everything. And some motherboards are bigger, smaller, depending on if you have a laptop or you have one of those phones or whatever. But everything is attached to this board. Everything is super, super, super small. We cannot even see some of those connections without microscopes and things like that. But let's talk about this a second, because we've been talking about computers for a while. We actually had a test on some of the terms here. And so let's pretend a second here about some of these things, like this city. Now our world, our life is analog. We've been talking the difference between analog, a continuous stream of information, and digital, where we sample different parts. And that's a key thing about what we're going to talk about today. But if we were to look at this computer and pretend about a few things, if we just made up some stuff, there's some areas I want to talk about. One might be the memory. And let's just say, for instance, this part right here is the memory. Let's say this big green building here is the memory. In the old days of computers, to have a computer would take up a room this big or twice as big. Huge, huge machine. And they ran off these huge vacuum tubes. We're going to talk a little bit more about vacuum tubes today as well. You guys know what a vacuum tube is? Have we talked about that? Yes, you do? Let's see here. I might have here's what a vacuum tube looks like. And in the old days, this is how we ran our computers. A vacuum tube is a lot like a light bulb in a sense. You can turn it on or you can turn it off. And they called it a vacuum tube because Edison discovered that if you take out all the air and leave a vacuum there, things won't burn up. Essentially what this is, the vacuum tube is a switch. It's a switch that either is on or off. In the old days of computers, in order to run our memory, it was not a little green building, it was this huge, huge structure.